Okay, so what I'm going to try to do, it can't get much worse than it is. So look at the sill here. Okay, I don't know how well this is going to come out, like I said. Let's see if I can, it's on autofocus. All right, so the sill is just awful. And pardon me, I'm holding up a tripod with this camera on it. Really does look terrible. Now, if I wanted to do this right, I would take the whole sill off. That's what I did in the bathroom downstairs. It comes off. You have to remove the bottom trim, and then it slides out. You gotta take the casing off the window. I don't feel like doing all that. This window is particularly bad also. Maybe moisture might have gotten in here. But all I'm gonna do is take 220 grit sandpaper on a sander and see if I could gently sand that. Or maybe not gently, but I can sand it. And then maybe I can restain it. So I don't know how this backlit thing is gonna come out. So I'm just gonna back up here, get rid of this plant. And we'll see what it looks like. So I got this thing. It's a sander. It's a Rotex sander, which means you can make it so it locks in place and it really remove a lot of crap. I don't want to do that though. I only want to remove a little bit. I'm using 220 grit sandpaper. I'm going to hook it up to some dust collection. So I'm going to use this 220, and then maybe I'll come back around the edges and do this. I am not looking for this. Does not have to be perfect. It's not going to be. So it's got to be better than it is now, though, because it's pretty awful right now. So let's. Let's see, where's that sponge? See if this works. Nah, no good. Try this. I'm going to put some of this pre-stain on. I'm not doing it fancy. I'm just going to use a paper towel and let it sit there for 5 to 15 minutes to penetrate. The pre-stain stuff on there. This is good. That's awful. I made no effort on that. This, you can see how lazy I was. I'm hoping when I put the stain on, it's gonna blend in with that. Because if not, I'm an idiot. All right, so I got some stain in there. Right there, it's Minwax. It's cherry color. I'm pissed off. I'll look for something more brown. So I don't like the way this looks. I feel like it's not matching properly. So the cherry stain wound up being a little bit too light and a little bit too orangey. So what I did was I bought a second stain, which was a little bit darker in color, also oil-based, and I applied it on top of the cherry stain, and that's what I wound up with right there. Now what I'm doing is I'm taking some Armor Seal, which is a modified wipe-on polyurethane. It's easy to work with. And I'm applying an initial layer, and you got to really flood it on. And then I'm going to let it dry. And I wound up applying 3 layers of the Armor Seal. And in between each layer, I lightly sanded with like 400 grit sandpaper. And again, you kind of top it off. After you apply it, you go from one end all the way to the other, long strokes. And there's a woodpecker on my house. Anyway, that's what you wind up with right there. So this is what it looks like after the first coat. You can see it's all absorbed in, and it's not particularly glossy. What I was looking for was a semi-gloss finish, and that's the Armor Seal that I had. So you'll see what it winds up looking like after 3 coats. Here it is. I mean, is it great? It's a little on the orangey side, but it would have been worse because I actually bought cherry color, which is what I thought these all were, and it was way too orange, so I had to buy a second color and add it. So that's what that looks like. So this is the end product. It's a little on the light side, but overall it's pretty good. It went from looking water damaged to just okay. It looks like it's a windowsill. That's all I wanted. So there's the before, there's the after. Thanks very much for watching, and please subscribe.